Welcome to Indy Unplugged, the podcast sets your front row seat to the real talk of Indianola. I'm Aaron Young, your friendly neighborhood host, and we're diving deep into unfiltered stories, candid chats, and the nitty-gritty of our vibrant city. Think of this as a crash course in all things Indianola. No fancy jargon, just real conversations. So, get comfy, hit that play button, and let's explore the heart and soul of our community together on Indy Unplugged. All right, welcome back to another episode of Indy Unplugged, a City of Indianola podcast, and we're joined today with a new face, but an influential figure with the City of Indianola leadership team. I'm talking about new city manager, Jacob Meshke. Jacob, you're about a week now on the job. How are you doing? How has the past few days been for you?
Aaron, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for having on Indy Unplugged. As I was prepping for this role and coming into it, your podcast was influential in that. So I want to thank you for the hard work that you've done here. A week into it, I'm doing fantastic. The community is fantastic. Everyone has been so warm, so welcoming. Just getting a chance to get out and know our department heads, our city council members, definitely taking in a lot of information. It's been compared to drinking from the fire hose a couple of times already, but just very happy to be here, and everyone has been great.
Well, first, appreciate the plug for Indy Unplugged. That's awesome. So, listeners, you always hear me say, leave a comment, leave a review. You heard it from the source right there. That's awesome news that this podcast has helped in many different ways, of course. But no, welcome to Indianola. We're so excited to have you here. Just first, tell listeners a little bit more about you and your background and what drew you to our community.
Absolutely. I grew up in northeastern Wisconsin in the Appleton, Green Bay area. I have both of my degrees from Arizona State University. I have a bachelor's degree in urban and metropolitan studies, and I have a master's degree in public administration with an urban management concentration. After I graduated from ASU, proud Sun Devil, I got my first job in the city manager's office in Casa Grande, Arizona. It's about a 50,000 person community right between Phoenix and Tucson on the 10. Started there as a management analyst, as I mentioned. I was there for about 18 months. After that time, I had an opportunity to move up. I became the assistant village manager in Bayside, Wisconsin. It's a suburb just north of Milwaukee, right on Lake Michigan, a community of about 5,000 people. A lot of my mentors at that time really suggested that if I wanted to learn the ins and outs of local government, go to a small community because you do a little bit of anything and everything. My boss at that time told me that when you come to a small community, you look left, you look right, and it's only you. And I laughed at that. I thought he was joking at the time, but I realized that's very true because you are such a small staff. You really are reliant to do many different things. Ultimately, after 2.5 years there, I learned a lot. I had a really great experience, but missed that team environment where we have talented department heads across the organization where we're able to collaborate and really do things in a together fashion. That really drew me to Brookings, South Dakota. It's a community of about 25,000 people, just about 50 minutes north of Sioux Falls. With that, it's also home to South Dakota State University, so another college town. But again, that was a great experience for me. I started there as the assistant to the city manager. I was promoted to assistant city manager and ultimately deputy city manager. Also during that time, I served as the interim director of the streets department. We later consolidated that into a public works department, and I served as the interim director of the public works department for 13 months. And then I served as the interim director of the parks, rec, and forestry director for 8 months after that. So a very well-rounded experience. I also managed our budget process, served as our intergovernmental affairs coordinator, and chaired our development review team where we reviewed all of the commercial and industrial and residential projects that were coming into the community. So again, just a very well-rounded experience there. And I was very happy there, truthfully. But ultimately, the Indianola opportunity came across my desk, and I definitely had to give it some good, hard thought and ultimately put my hat in the ring. And I just came here and was immediately blown away. Meeting with the city council members, meeting with the staff, meeting with members of the community. This was just a truly special place. It stood out, and it made it, frankly, a very easy decision to want to come here and be a part of this great community.
I know when we've had Mayor Richardson on and just hearing the comments publicly from our city council and, of course, staff, they definitely say that you check all the boxes. So when you talk about your well-rounded career and the impact of, smaller cities and the aspect of local government, what excites you now that you're in this seat, a weekend, albeit, but finally being here and tapping into that experience and the dedication of our staff moving forward?
Yeah. What excites me is the community the most. Coming here, I just really get that sense that everybody in Indianola, from the council to the staff to the community, are all rowing in the same direction and truly what they want, what is best for this community. And leading an organization that where you're seeing that is just, it makes it so fun to come to work every day, because you just have a lot of talented individuals that truly want to do the best for this community. So getting to know them, getting to know their stories, what they're passionate about, what brought them to Indianola, how they landed in their positions, that's just been really exciting for me. It's been great conversations, and ultimately, it just really excites me to have the opportunity to work with that talented group and really do the best we can for this community.
And you've been a busy guy this past week, from visiting with those departments and the staff, like you said, attending community events like last Thursday being the library's annual summer bash, the groundbreaking at Wesley Life for the village. Just talk about what those conversations, and again, using your words, the fire hose, how has that process of just being and building and fostering those relationships been for you so far?
Absolutely. I'd really go back to everyone just being so warm, so welcoming, and the enthusiasm around me coming into this position. It's been overwhelming, the amount of support that I've gotten so far, and it makes it such a reinforcement for the decision to come here, just seeing how many folks are happy that I'm here, and again, just getting to know them, learn more about them, getting out into the community, just seeing how people enjoy this community so much and truly love the community, and that's been very rewarding for me. So as I continue to move forward, I want to make sure that I'm present and visible at these public events. I want to engage with our residents, certainly engage with our staff and key stakeholders, and really integrate myself and become part of this community. Again, coming here without having any roots necessarily to the area, I want to make sure that I really embed myself in this fabric of community and make Indianola my home.
Right. And there's so many opportunities that Indianola has right in front of itself as a community, as well as navigating some challenges, of course. What are the ways, as a city manager, being new to a community, do you kind of put yourself in that situation to continue to lead, but then also continue to build upon that momentum, whether it's already been established before your arrival, but to make sure that we put our best foot forward to reach that end-all goal for the sake of the community?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great question, Aaron. For me, it starts before I even set foot in Indianola to officially start my duties as city manager. I started off with I've got a 4-inch binder full of all things Indianola, from plans, studies, policies, codes. So it starts with that preparation to really give yourself as much background, context, and information as you can to really paint a clear picture of how we got to where we are today. And then ultimately, when I come into the position, as you've mentioned, I've been very busy meeting with members of the staff, the public, council. Then you start to connect those dots, because I'm able to hear firsthand from folks who have got more historical context of how those plans came to be, where we're at in implementing them. So you do that independent study as a starting point, and then I come in here and I have those conversations, and it really starts to kind of paint a picture for me on understanding the different elements and the different angles of the opportunities as well as the challenges. And then from there, it's just a matter of kind of taking those next steps to put all of that together and getting out in the community, doing the tours, stepping on site, seeing things firsthand. And really, I also want to just say it's a matter of trusting and empowering the staff that we work with, because we've got a lot of talented individuals within this organization. So to me, I end up being that key facilitator to make sure they have the resources and support they need to be successful in carrying out their projects, programs, and services.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add for listeners to learn more about you? I'm sure council, as we move forward, there will likely be a community meet and greet at some point, but just kind of want to open up the floor for you to share kind of any final or closing remarks.
Just go back to saying I'm very excited to be here. I'm thankful to the staff, the council, the members of the public that I've had the opportunity to engage with. I couldn't imagine a more welcoming and warm group of individuals. Everyone from any aspect that you can think of, to people I'm seeing at the gas stations, to the grocery stores, you name it. Everyone has just been so warm, so welcoming. Again, I just can't really contain my excitement to continue to integrate myself into this community, be part of the community, and look forward to doing some great things together.
Very cool. Well, we're excited to have you again. Welcome aboard. Listeners, make sure you leave a comment, leave a review. That helps us make sure that we're hitting the mark on every single episode of Indy Unplugged. And who knows, maybe next time you'll be a future guest of Indy Unplugged.